Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Tyler McNabb, and this is my 400EX. So as you can see, we got this thing getting pretty close to looking like a full-on quad again. So in this last video, I went ahead, I got this brand new HMF competition series exhaust on. I went ahead, got the carburetor on, gas tank, air box, air filter, got all that on. And then we were able to get this thing running. So it sounds good, it runs, it fires, yeah, basically everything you want in a quad. So yeah, so in this video I ended up getting something today that I've been waiting on for a while. I've mentioned it in a couple videos, and it was one of the last things I've been waiting on, because the old one on my quad just was worn out. It wasn't good anymore, and hopefully overall it'll help a little bit of the performance of the quad as well as looks. So I'll show you guys here real quick. It is this beautiful, as you can see, nice black gas vent. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, but I did get a new gas vent. So my old one was this old kind of dingy orange one, and it just kind of clashed with the quad, so I went ahead and got a new black one. But anyway, let's get into the real parts that I got for this. So as you know, I've been saying that I've been waiting on the steering stem, and so as you can guess, it finally came today. So here we have a Hauser Racing steering stem along with their steering stem clamp. And this is just like a little dash that you can buy from them too. Hauser makes this as well. You can slide your key in here, neutral light, oil light, and then kill switch bolts on down here. So ended up getting all that stuff through Hauser, and this is pretty nice. So I will say this stem is actually for a Honda 450R. And I'll explain why I have a Honda 450R stem. So first off, the Honda 450R stems are bigger in diameter, so they're a little bit beefier, you know, a little bit harder to bend. As I may have mentioned previously, my old one is bent like right around up here. It's just slightly tweaked. I mean, you can't tell when you're on, like, riding the quad or on the quad, but when you stand in front of it, you can tell one side of the bar is a little bit lower. And then also on my old stem, these holes are kind of oval shaped, and so they were getting kind of worn out. So I needed a new stem, but the reason I got a 450 stem was not only is it bigger, so bulkier, but also my precision steering stabilizer that I bought a while back. If you remember, I said that it ended up being, it was on a 400EX, but it was for a 450. And so what happened there was, instead of, I guess, kind of like I told you, the diameter of this is bigger. So what happened is, when I went to put that steering stem clamp on, it didn't fit my 400EX steering stem. So I had to put a little shim in there, and you know, it worked, but I'd rather it be fitting good and tight. And so got a 450 stem, and yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good upgrade. People do it every now and then. I will let you know, kind of a public service announcement, if you go to do this mod, a +1 stem for a 400EX is a +2 stem on a 450. So the 450 stems are 1 inch shorter. So if, like, I had a +1 stem on this quad for a 400EX, so I had to order a +2 450R stem. So keep that in mind if you're doing this mod. Something else you have to do is you have to buy the 450 mounts. So this little mount here is actually for a 450. You have to buy 2 of these front mounts. So here's one of them, and here's the other one. So this is what they look like when you buy them. So I bought 2 of these front ones, and then I took this front one and I ground all of this stuff off. I removed it, and then you also have to get the 450 steering stem bushing. And so the reason you have to get 2 front ones is On a 450, the steering stem mounts are kind of built into the frame, whereas this one it's not. So you take this 450 mount, grind the stuff off, and then it just sits in here, and then the steering stem and bushing will sit in there. And yeah, that's basically all you need to do that mod. So it's not a hard mod. The 450 stem costs the same as a 400EX stem, so if you want just a little bit beefier of a stem, then that's one route you can go. Some people do the mod, some people don't. Some people think it's kind of a waste of money, but honestly, the main reason I did it was because I had that precision stabilizer that was for a 450, so I just went ahead and did that. So anyway, so for this video, that's going to be the main focus. Is we're going to get the steering stem on, go ahead, get the handlebars on, we'll probably get the tie rods and new ball joints on, all that fun stuff, and try to get this quad back to looking pretty much like a quad. So hopefully we'll see how long that takes us, and then maybe we'll do some other stuff. I still need to do some I need to get the front brakes on, I need to get the rear brakes on, I need to get the Nerf bars on at some point. Not sure if we'll do that all in this video or if we'll save it for the next one, but yeah, overall this quad's coming together. So yeah, let's jump into the video. So one thing I'm going to do before I install this is, comes with this bushing that goes around here. I'm going to grease this up on the inside and just make sure that it's good and basically lubricated. Make sure that, because if this dries out, it could definitely cause some friction or something on the inside of this. And so the last thing we want is something like this, making it harder to steer. So might as well grease it up and make sure that it's good to go. And probably definitely wouldn't be a bad idea to check on this every couple races or something and make sure it's still good and greased, because it's something I never did on my other quad and my other steering stem, and that thing was definitely tougher to steer than, like, say, my dad's 450, so that could have been, you know, a potential cause. And so might as well just do something like that first, prevent some of that. Okay guys, so the last, I guess, little bit of clip, the first part of this video you saw was actually like a little over a week ago for me. Like, it's like a week later. Unfortunately, I got some sort of real nasty head cold that I got, and I just was kind of miserable and kind of just hung out at home after work when I got home and didn't really feel like doing anything. So I had a little bit of a pause on the build, but hopefully I was far enough ahead that you guys are seeing this on the next Tuesday that you usually see the next video. So if not, I'm sorry, it just felt like crap, and I'll get it up the following Friday. But if not, you're probably seeing this video on Tuesday. Hopefully I was able to get it up. And yeah, so anyway, I'll get back into that. I pretty much left off at the where I was doing steering stem, so I got all that installed. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go ahead and get the handlebars all mounted up.
and then this thing will start to really be looking like a quad again. So go ahead and get the handlebars mounted up. I'll probably go ahead and get my clutch on, and so we can get that run down there. So we've got clutch again, and then I'll probably finish out this video with putting on my Nerf bars. So as you know, or if you've seen, I've got the other video, I got those Hauser 450R Nerf bars. So if you want to know how to put some 450R Nerf bars on a 400EX, go check out that video. It's a pretty good one, and yeah, the Nerf bars look pretty sick. So I'll probably go ahead and put those on after I'm done getting the handlebars all mounted up. I'm gonna go ahead and hold off on putting on the front brakes and the rear brakes, and you guys will probably see why in the next video, because I've actually got some new parts coming that I was kind of holding off on ordering because I honestly wasn't sure I was gonna have enough money. You know, I'm blessed, I have a good job, but you know, if you know anything about these quads, they cost an arm and a leg. So I didn't quite have the budget I thought I did when I originally started this build, but I was able to, once I sold my exhaust and then my old rear shock, I was able to come up with a little more money for some new parts we got coming this for. So you'll see those in the next video. I won't give that away because they're some pretty good parts. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty big parts on the quad. So I'll leave you kind of with a cliffhanger on those. So anyway, I'll quit yapping, and we'll go ahead get into getting the handlebars on, get the Nerf bars on, and yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this video. This one may be a little shorter because the rest of the video will probably be a lot of time lapsing. So yeah, let's get that stuff on. Okay, so I went ahead and got the old tie rod ends off the old tie rods, and then I got all new ends for the tie rods. So I'm just gonna put those back in real quick. I left the nuts where they were for the old tie rod ends, so hopefully those line up relatively the same when I put it on the quad, but if not, I'll do a little bit of adjusting to try to get the toe correct. So let's get these on, and then we'll put them on the quad. So let's do that. So got the new tie rods on, got the bolts all tightened on those, got the cotter pins in as well, and now this thing officially has steering, so I can move, and I can definitely tell. I set it down on the ground. I'm not judging based off of it being off the ground, because obviously that wouldn't be right, but I can definitely tell. I think it does steer a little bit easier, which that's what I was hoping. Now that I've replaced all the ball joints, I've replaced all the ball joints on the A-arms as well, and replaced the steering stem bearing down below as well as this guy up top. So I think adding that all together, it did make it a little bit easier to steer, which will be helpful, especially because I was hoping what it would do is lighten up the steering. That way when I put my steering stabilizer back on, I can tighten that up a little bit, and so just basically make it a little bit stiffer to the point where it feels like it used to when I used to race it. So that way I've got a little bit stiffer stabilizer, and so it'll handle a lot better, absorb the bumps a lot better, all that fun stuff. So I got that, and yeah, so this thing is really starting to look like a quad again, with the handlebars and everything. Got the clutch. I went ahead and bled it, so it's working good. Got the throttle hooked up. Got my key up here. Yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about this dash. So I still need to tighten it up, but basically how this is gonna work is my keys right there, and then my kill switch is right here. As you can tell, the holes are kind of covered up by this, and the top holes are. And so what I'm gonna do is, instead of mounting it on top, I'm just gonna mount it underneath, so that way I've still got my kill switch up here, but then it's not interfering with the bars or anything. And I kind of had to tilt this back a little bit because with how it is, it sits really close, and so it's hard to get a bar pad around. I am able to get my bar pad on, but it's just a tough fit. But anyway, so that's looking pretty good. So then I think the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, try to get the Nerf bars mocked up, get them on, and then that'll probably be it for this video. So let's jump into putting them on. Okay, guys, well, this thing is starting to look more and more like a quad every single day. We're getting oh so very close. So I got the Nerf bars all bolted on, and that gloss black powder coat makes them look newer again. When you get up close, you see stuff like this giant dent and stuff, but there's really not much I can do about that. So that's just is what it is. But from afar, they look pretty good. But yeah, got those all bolted up, and I don't have the nets in yet because I've still got the nets that I ran last season, but I went ahead and ordered a brand new set of nets from JSR Designs. They make custom Nerf bar nets, and so I'm waiting on those to come in. So worst comes to worst, if they don't, I'll put the old ones back in before I ride it. But they were kind of torn in some spots and just looked kind of dingy, so I went ahead and ordered a new set. They're not too expensive, so waiting on those. And then what else did we get done in this episode? Got the old steering stem on. I got my shock reservoir mounted up. I don't think I filmed that, but got that mounted up. I got the handlebars all mounted up. Got the clutch mounted and bled. I think I did that off camera, but that's basically it's the exact same as bleeding brakes. So I pump it a little bit, and then there's like a little nut down on the master cylinder that you loosen to bleed it, and yeah, it works the exact same as brakes. So got that. Got the throttle mounted up, and then we've got this cool dash here. I've got my key in there, and then the kill switch is going to mount on here. So overall, yeah, like I said, this thing is looking more and more like a quad every day. I guess I will talk about, you probably saw me trying to mount up. I bought a case saver for this. It's just one they carried at my local shop. It's a Moose Racing case saver, and I mean, I've had some Moose Racing things before, like the starter is actually a Moose Racing starter that I've got on the quad. So some products they have are okay, and I figured, it was relatively cheap, like 30-40 bucks. And so I went ahead and got one because I haven't had, like, other than a factory case saver on this. But anyway, I went to mount it up, and it wouldn't fit because of this little guy right here. This thing sticks out, and it was hitting on the case saver, so it wouldn't let it sit flush. And so I got my Dremel out, and I trimmed the case saver. Thought, okay, I'll get it mounted up, and I put it in there, and the bolt holes don't even line up. So I know it's for a 400EX, but yeah, the case saver doesn't work. So I'm probably gonna have to bite the bullet and go buy a quality one from Glan Innovations. That's where I got my greasable pivot, swing arm pivot bearing or bolt. And so I'll probably just have to bite the bullet and go buy one of those. That's probably what I should have done in the first place. That's what happens. Sometimes you cheap out and stuff like that happens. So anyway, yeah, I'll probably have to get one of those. But yeah, quad is looking good, and yeah, looking really good. So I didn't accomplish, I guess, a ton in this episode. I still need to put the front brakes on. I still need to put the rear brakes on. A couple other things here and there. So honestly, not a whole lot left to do. Yeah, I got the front brake master cylinder, but that comes with the front brakes, front brake lines. And so kind of one reason I haven't put that stuff on yet is, like I said, I'm getting some new parts. You'll see that in the next episode of this build. So yeah, be watching for that. Got some cool parts coming for this thing. And once they get here, then we should be able to finish this up and hopefully start riding it here soon. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this build series as much as I am. I'm enjoying working on it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been cool to actually, go from start to, basically tear this thing all the way down to nothing but a bare frame, take it, get it powder coated, and replace pretty much as I can, and get it to where it's, a good machine again. So, and not only a good functioning machine, but it also works or looks good and stuff. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. It seems like you guys are liking the build series, so yeah, don't have too many episodes left in it, and we should wrap it up in the next couple episodes and have us a good looking quad. So once again, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.